For more on the media coverage of the terror attack in St. Petersburg, or lack thereof, we're being joined now by legal and media analyst Lionel of Lionel Media. Lionel, my friend, this attack on the Metro is a big deal, yet the mainstream media has hardly covered it. Had this been Paris or London, we would have wall-to-wall coverage. Why isn't this being covered the same way?
Well, there's so many different aspects of this particular incident I don't understand. First, if I was a president, and I'm not, but if I was, the very first thing I would do is I'd be picking up the phone and making sure that everybody saw me calling. Everybody that in any way was affected by this, including Mr. Putin, guaranteed, number one, as I would any other country. Number two, where are the sense of individuals from, let's say, NYPD, where we have this thing called subways, that might want to gain and share intelligence to find out how this worked, because after all, this is terrorism, is an international effect. And then when you look at other aspects of it, you look at social media, where are the filters? Where are the Je suis St. Petersburg? Where are this almost, and I'm not suggesting it's all insincere, but almost this lockstep Pavlovian reaction where everybody moves. And then you have to ask yourself this. When the mainstream media have been fed, or I submit respectfully, have been ordered to provide this 24/7 anti-Russian, Russophobic, Kremlin-baiting attack, it's out of their wheelhouse. It's out of their ability to move from that and to show compassion. And to look at this and say, wait a minute, this has nothing to do with this, quote, rigged election anymore. It seems like it's an either-or proposition. And you know, Manila, what I don't understand is simply this. Terrorism affects everybody all over the world. How people in media, especially in, again, the greatest oxymoron, social media, showing this anti-social, almost an indifference. I don't understand how they can compartmentalize.
You're right, and I do want to touch on that topic a little bit later, but as you mentioned earlier, President Trump, he has been relatively quiet about this attack. An official White House statement was released and condolences, but no actual call as of yet. It's been over 12 hours to Vladimir Putin, who has now laid down flowers at the scene of the attack. Do you think that Trump has been a little more tight-lipped on this for fear that the mainstream media would somehow point at him and say, you see, these are these Russian ties, or link him in some way or another?
I can't imagine this president caring one lick of what the media think. And by the way, may I just add one thing? The mainstream media, dare I say the prototypical anti-Trump alt-left mainstream media, who are loath to even suspect or use any kind of conspiracy theories. They hate that term. In fact, whenever they're leveled by anybody else, they're the first one to yell, the tinfoil hat brigade. But yet, have you heard the false flag commentaries from the various sources that if you had said that about, let's say, other forms or other terror, they would say you're insane.
Yeah.
It goes to show you that not only the double standard, but how there is a disconnect. My God, we're talking human lives. Isn't there an international war on terror, or is it situational terror and situational victimology that determines our concern?
Yeah, and like you mentioned moments ago, that the same thing from all the social media giants. No Facebook filters, no Instagram filters that show, you know, I stand with Russia like they did with Paris or Brussels. Why not? These are innocent civilians that were killed.
Because, I hate to say it, when you tell people, when you repeat the drone, the refrain, this lockstep patellar obeisant reflex, that Russia rigged it, Russian did it, Russia. In fact, you would think today that with the latest, with Susan Rice, which is a different story, but it seems like we can only handle one subject at a time. It's either Gorsuch or it's the Russian investigation. But what's happening, again, I ask, I'm in New York, I take the subway daily. Why didn't somebody from New York, for example, fly over there and say, we have something in common, let's pool resources, let's show terrorists worldwide.
Let's protect innocent civilians together. That's right, Lionel. Thank you so much. We got to leave it right there, my friend.
Thank you.
That's Lionel of Lionel Media in New York.